WrestleMania 11 was a show. Alright, that about does it. Let's go home, everyone. No, just kidding. WrestleMania 11, though, it's kind of just there. There were a few major historic things that happened. We'll get into those, but overall, though, the show is just very forgettable. If this WrestleMania ever gets mentioned by WWE, it's strictly for the main event match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Lawrence Taylor. And even then, WWE has majorly downplayed this one because, well, Bam Bam is dead and Lawrence Taylor is freaking weird. But nonetheless, let's get into the short story that is the story of WrestleMania 11. As mentioned, the show was main evented by Bam Bam Bigelow versus former New York Giants defensive end Lawrence Taylor. Taylor was an all-pro and was quite a big star in the sports world at the time. WrestleMania and celebrities, of course, have always been synonymous, and Vince McMahon decided to double down on that and actually have former NFL All-Pro step into the ring. The angle to set it up was actually a very well done spot at the Royal Rumble 1995, where Taylor was sat in the front row, and after mocking Bigelow, got shoved to the ground. Taylor bounced to his feet and attempted to tangle with Bigelow, but they quickly got separated. And Taylor prepared well for the match, and it's also a testament to Bigelow's ability as well. WWE would do this again with other celebrities and sports stars through the years. This match was pretty much the only thing that most people remember about this show. There was, however, a whole rest of the card, which we will get into. The championship match at this WrestleMania was between Diesel and Shawn Michaels, and this match was pushed to the semi-main event. Diesel had become the champion in November of 1994 after defeating transitional champion Bob Backlund at a house show. Yes, at that time, it was pretty much unheard of to do a major title change at a regular TV show. Raw was just in its second year of existence, so because Backlund had just become the champion at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and there wasn't another pay-per-view until January's Royal Rumble, Diesel's reign kicked off at a house show. This perhaps made for an odd jump start to the Diesel era as WWE champion. And Shawn Michaels was positioned as one of the top heels in the company, but he had not main evented a pay-per-view until this WrestleMania. Shawn was put over strong at the Royal Rumble in January of 1995, as he became the first guy to ever win the Rumble while drawing the number one spot. Of course, this Rumble was a short one with only 60-second intervals, so the records that Shawn got here would all end up being broken anyway. It is generally thought that the Diesel run as champion was a failure from a business standpoint, and this match was right in the middle of all that. Diesel ended up retaining, and shortly after the show, Shawn would turn babyface and get another crack at it next year at WrestleMania 12, which I already did that video, but you can check it out here. A match that everyone seems to forget on this card is the match between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund in an I Quit match that featured special referee Roddy Piper. This match ended up being very underwhelming somehow, which is a shame because the Bret Hart-Bob Backlund feud was a long-running storyline that I thought was actually done very, very well. It's my humble opinion that perhaps these two were not happy being pushed down the card here, as their feud was the championship storyline just months prior. That was abruptly ended, and the title was put on Diesel as mentioned. Undertaker made his return to WrestleMania after missing WrestleMania 10, and the best thing they could get together for him was a match with King Kong Bundy. This was basically the aftermath of what seemed to be a never-ending feud with him and Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Corporation, and this was the fourth match in Taker's streak, and continued a long tradition of Taker being featured in a match at WrestleMania with another sizable competitor. We were also blessed with an Intercontinental title match with Razor Ramon and Jeff Jarrett, which ended in a DQ. This match was another long-running feud that seemed to have already fizzled out by this point, but alas, with the DQ finish, it would continue long after even this WrestleMania show. And last but not least, the opening match was between Lex Luger and British Bulldog, who teamed as the Allied Powers, taking on Jacob and Eli Blue. It's no wonder Lex Luger left WWE later in this year to appear on the first Monday Nitro, as Luger was in the title picture just a year earlier and was now relegated to a curtain-jerking tag team with British Bulldog, and not even in the tag team title picture either. Luger accepted this new role seemingly defeated, as Vince McMahon had lost faith in him as a main event performer. So there it is. That was the largely forgettable WrestleMania 11 in a nutshell. I want to know what your memories of it were, what were the best matches you thought, so on and so forth. Please let me know down in the comments section below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're very close to hitting our monetization goal. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Pro Wrestling Planet.